What's up, everybody? It's AJ with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out this NOCO Genius GEN5X1 on our Hike Outdoors camper. And this is going to be used to hook up to your battery, like we got in our teardrop camper today. We got it hooked up in there just to keep a steady charge on that battery. That way it never dips below a certain point. It's going to just help keep that battery useful and charged up on our trips. Let's check it out. So this is more of a permanent installation solution for the situation, and that's because you got the ring terminals here that are going to go on the battery, and it's meant to kind of stay on there. Now, it's not saying that's hard to put them on there and take them back off, but usually the ones with the clips are the ones that you use for like fleet vehicles or something like that. This one's made more, like we said, in our cubby hole here. It's already installed, hooked up to that battery at all times, ready to be used whenever we need it. When we park the camper inside the garage, we just want to keep that battery nice and charged and healthy. That's going to be great for this. So, on this end you have the AC plug. So this will plug into the wall. That's what gives it power, and that's going to send the power through the control box here, through up into our ring terminals, and that'll be connected to your battery. And in each one of these, positive and negative, both have fuses on there. I can just pop this off. They got inline fuses, that way it's protected. If there is any feedback or something, it'll blow the fuse and not cause any damage to your battery or your box here. Now in our teardrop camper today, we only have one battery, but as you get bigger campers or motorhomes, they're gonna have a couple extra batteries, or even some boats could have up to 3. The X1 means it's for one battery, so there's also an X2 that would be able to connect to 2 batteries to charge those, and then there's the X3 that you can get that would connect to 3 batteries at once. So just giving you an idea, if this one of those situations is something you're dealing with, you can get a different version of this that has the multi-plugs in one of these. You don't have to buy 3 X1s for 3 batteries. You just buy one X3 and hook that all up. It would just have the extra ports here. There'd just be 3 of these on it instead to plug up and charge those batteries. These are the 3/8 diameter eyelets. You got a mark positive. This one's got a plus sign on it, and this one's got a negative sign on there. So that way you know what terminal to put them on to mount them onto your battery. You're gonna take off the top part of your battery, slide these over the terminals, and put it back on there and screw it down. Something else I like that's built into it is that if you were in a hurry to go set this up and you just hooked them up to the wrong spots, it has protection in there and lets you know the light will come on and tell you that there's reverse polarity. So that light will light up right here, and that one lets you know that it's hooked up incorrectly. Now next to that is going to be a high voltage light. That'll come on if something's wrong with the batteries, putting out too much voltage. It's not going to work. This one would be if it's a completely dead battery, and this is just your standby. This is your power light right here. Right here is going to be your battery indicators. So if you hook it up to your battery, it's going to be the 12-volt light that comes on. It also works with 12-volt AGM, 12-volt lithium, and this is going to be the 12-volt repair mode. And what this is, if your battery's so dead, like under 1%, it detects that and you can force charge it, and that'll slowly trickle charge it back up to full speed. But if it can't detect that and know that, you can just put it in that mode and then it'll force it to do it. Above our battery indicators, you can see the charge indicator. So right now, we've just unplugged it and plugged it back in. It's reading the battery to let us know how charged it's going to be. It's going to just take a few minutes, and that bar is going to slowly fill up and go to the next one, and the next one, and the last one is finally green. And once you see the green, you know that your battery is fully charged. Each one of the notches also means 25%, 50%, 75%, and then 100%. And once you see the glowing green, that means it's kind of going to go in standby mode and just let the battery sit there at that charge. Another nice thing about this is that it is waterproof. So it has an IP68 rating. So that means you can use it on your boat, charge up your battery on there. That way, if it does get submerged in water, it can last up to 30 minutes. So if you get some water on the boat or get some water on it, this is going to be just fine. It's not going to have any issues. We're going to go over the installation really quick. You can see it was mounted with 2 screws on those holes on the side. That's mounting it here to the back. And then we have the positive that was run here to the positive terminal on our battery, and the negative run to the negative side of the battery. The 12-volt plug is over here. It's plugged into a port that's on the side of the camper. We're going to go on that side and check that out next. This is the port on the outside I was talking about. Now this is sold separately, but NOCO does offer several different versions of this ones too. There's different lengths of cord, and it's up to 1 or 2 different cords coming out of the back here. So one's runs to the fuse box and one's run to the battery in this. But we got the weather seal cap on the outside. With that closed, you can keep all the elements out, and then when you need it, you just pop that open and plug it in, and it's good to go. It's nice to have that port right here, and what you're gonna need to install this, it's even got a steel on the back side here to keep that out, is you're gonna need a hole saw to drill a hole in the side of your camper to get it installed. Now we're gonna plug in our port, and the reason why we have that here is because we need some kind of cable to actually plug it in. Our battery maintainer or charger is mounted inside here, so I'm not gonna just run the cable in here because then I wouldn't be able to close the back hatch. This on the outside means this can be open or closed, it doesn't matter. I just have a port that's easier to plug it in and get my battery charging, whether it's in storage or I'm using it. Overall, I really like this. It's a nice addition to the camper, whether you put it on a boat or a camper. I like that you can permanently mount it, and it's also waterproof, so you don't have to worry about anything about it. Put it in there. Then with its add-ons like the plug on the outside, I can just leave it stored in that compartment, keep this door closed. I would hate to have to leave this kind of open with an extension cord running outside all the time. That means I can't lock it. That means people can mess with it, or just something bad could happen if I did that. So with all that, those worries aren't there on this. And just again, the peace of mind that I can keep my battery ready to go whenever I need the camper, because sometimes I might just want to go camping on the weekends and it's out of nowhere, and you know that it's charged, good to go for your trip as long as you've plugged it in here on the side. That's it for our Hike Outdoors camper and our NOCO charger. Thanks for hanging out. I hope this helped.